The KStrip Channelstrip by KIIVE is like the monster of Frankenstein. The plugin takes parts of hardware of well-known brands like Neve, SSL and API and sews them all together to create a new beast, and it might become your ultimate channel strip for all normal mixing you do. With KStrip you can go from this to this. But of course make sure to try out this plugin on your own mixes for a real proper test. First, a quick understanding of how this plugin works and what you get. With KStrip you get three main modules, which are a preamp, EQ and dynamics. Exactly what you expect from a channel strip. For every main module you get the choice between the three flavors of an SSL, Neve or API. These three modules of KStrip are fully flexible in their routing. Just drag them around to have the three in the order you want. If my math is correct, you get 27 combinations with this alone. This is cool because you can have, for instance, EQ after saturation, or use it before, which opens up nice tone shaping saturation options. I like this a lot. Furthermore, in the plugin you can find a gate and envelope shaper, and these can be set to pre-post preamp for the gate and pre-post dynamics for the shaper. That will make the amount of variations even bigger by a multitude. You do the math and let us know in the comments what it is. Now, that means that you have basically everything you need for a level-based mixing and tonality. On top of this you will probably add effects like delays and reverbs and use additional plugins for things like surgical EQ. But for the bulk of the mixing this plugin could be enough if you're into that type of thing. The modules in KStrip are based upon a whole lot of different hardware units. I copied the exact list sent to me right here, I only put it in order. Now this mentions the Neve 6609 compressor. That doesn't exist, it must be a typo. This could be the AudioToolshed 609, which is based on the Neve 33609 and of which the plugin was coded by KIIVE. I also noticed the SSL 502 EQ in the list, and in this plugin you get the parametric bands featured in Purified Audio's SLP 538 EQ, also coded by KIIVE. Maybe there's more reused hardware emulation code happening in this plugin, I don't know, and to be honest, I don't mind. More importantly, the number of hardware units is so varied that it is safe to say that basically none of the modules are one-on-one emulations of one hardware unit. This really is a Frankenstein plugin. Every one of the modules adds its own EQ curve and harmonic content to the total mix. Nothing in here is even close to be clean, and when you turn dials, the amount of harmonic content also changes. On top of that, for the preamps you can change the balance of the third order odd harmonics and second order even harmonics, even though the effect of this will be more subtle in normal usage. What is done really well in the plugin is the auto gain. Every module has its own dedicated auto gain function, but you still want to adjust output gain to fine-tune. On acoustic guitar with a low end and auto gain you get something like this. And auto gain off. With auto gain enabled, this EQ feels more like a tone changing module. With auto gain off, it works as a normal EQ. Both settings are fine depending on what you need. Now, before we dive into the individual modules, please make sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. This video is sponsored by DistroKid. Cover songs is probably one of the many types of songs you would love to do, but uploading to a streaming platforms is always a hassle due to copyrights and required fee because you cover an original song. DistroKid makes this very easy for you by offering the option to do this all for you for $12 per song per year when you have a DistroKid subscription. Use my link in the description to get 7% off of your first year on a DistroKid. The settings you set on a module do not carry over when you change the flavor. It would be ideal, but I think rather impossible to implement with the different settings you get for each flavor, but the plugin does remember what you have set. Because of that, going back and forth between different settings is easy and helps you to decide which one sounds best. Here are the preamps on drums. I have pushed them all with the same amount to bring out the character. But the output level is fine-tuned to have the same level on the LUFS meter of Cubase. There are some differences. You can hear the differences between them. SSL has the least distortion with these settings. The EQs of KStrip are not created equally. With auto gain off and a 10 decibel boost on 1 kHz, you get a lot of difference in level only. With auto gain on, this is much more even and you can see the difference between the width and steepness of the three bands. Here is the acoustic guitar again, and I have set an EQ boost at 4 kHz to hit 7.5 decibels of boost between the three options. I used Plugin Doctor to do that. This is how that sounds. This is with auto gain on. That's quite some difference in sound between the three. For some reason, the SSL is the only one with slight to larger differences between left and right channels on a stereo track. The three compressors also widely differ in character. With the SSL and Neve I can get a snap out of them, with the API I cannot. Listen to this next overcompressed example. With slightly more moderate and similar settings, you can still hear the difference in character. Note, these are not very precisely set. KStrip can basically work on any track you throw it on, from severe to subtle processing. Here is KStrip on acoustic guitar. The goal is to reduce dynamics and to make the guitar a bit clearer and have a more constant push. I ended up with only the SSL modules. The EQ is after the compression and the envelope shaper reduces the attack a bit. And here is the same full mix as in the beginning of the video. I'll enable and disable the plugin on individual tracks so you can hear what it does with unmixed audio. KStrip can become your one-stop for the bulk of all regular audio processing work you will do in a mix. The plugin is very flexible and you get a ton of cool extra options. Try it out to see if it fits in your audio toolshed.